What's up everybody, it's Joe here with Joseph Blake Photography. We talk about tech and news and gear and reviews, and that's what we're going to be doing today. We're going to be reviewing the FusionDock Pro 1 Plus from Ivanky. We're going to see what it can do. I'm going to tell you all about it. I'm going to give you my thoughts. So again, I'm Joe, this is my channel, Joseph Blake Photography, and one of the things that I really like to talk about is gear. Sometimes I tell you about the gear that I have, and sometimes I get new gear and I want to talk about it. So now, the folks at Ivanky, they did reach out to me, they did ask me to review this product. I'm 100% upfront with you. When I take possession of a product, when something is sent to me, I let you know. They're not paying me for this review, but I understand that me buying it myself and them paying me, somewhere in the middle is they sent it to me for free. And while I do really appreciate that, I promise you I'm gonna give you my unbiased opinion on this product. If it's bad, I'm gonna tell you. But we've been talking a lot about computers and USB-C ports specifically, and so that's right where this guy lands. So I'm just gonna read to you what they have here on the box. It will give you power delivery up to 100 watts. And there's something special about this port that I wanna talk to you about. So additionally, it has a 10 gigabit USB-C with an additional 20 watts of power delivery, and another USB-C that's also 10 gigabits. This has two 10 gigabit USB-A ports. I think that's 10 gigabits shared, right? That's 5 gigabits each. It's got two card readers. Now on the box, this says these card readers are UHS 2, and we're gonna test that out. It's also got a 3.5 millimeter jack that it claims is both for mics and headphones. We will be checking that out too, and a power button with an indicator light. This is the type of thing that my kids like to turn on and off while I'm working. The other side is a 20 volt, 9 amp power connector. That's right, this thing is going to be pushing 180 watts. Another set of USB-A ports, and then 1, 2, 3 HDMI ports. And these are HDMI 2.0, so they are 4K 60 hertz capable, but we're gonna put all of that through its paces. So let's go ahead and open the box up and take a look. All right, let's pull. Oh, I love that. Okay, we've got instruction manual. Read this first. We're not gonna read that. There it is. This thing is super lightweight. Got the brand, very nice. Rougher finish, but I also like that it's black. Forgot to mention that this Ethernet port is 2.5 gigabit. Here's the first thing I want to show you before we even plug this thing in. Here is my favorite part about this so far. You've got all the ports on the side. I can't tell you how many times I have had devices where the connection to the laptop has been on the front or the back. They did a really good job designing this. The stuff that you would normally access in the front, the PD port, the USB-C port, the USB 3.0As, the SD card, and the headphone jack, those are on the front. I'm gonna call this the front. And on the back is Ethernet, power, more USB, and all of the ugly HDMI connectors. That's where you've got this port. I don't know if it's gonna be any good, but the design so far is pretty good. Okay, USB-C high quality cable. So we've got all this stuff here. We're gonna go ahead and get this plugged in, and we'll give this a try, and we'll see how it works. And there we go. All right, so I've got it powered up and I've got it plugged in via USB-C. It does register the 2.5 gig LAN, 14-in-1 USB-C docking station. Let's start by mounting an SD card. This is a V90. This has got a read and write speed of 250 megabits. Also, I'll let you hear what this sounds like. It's got a very metallic sound. So it's just slot in. There's no like eject. It's push pull. A bunch of people are probably gonna yell at me for sliding that in and out of there. Bring up Blackmagic speed test. All right, let's do a quick speed test. Okay, well, we got about 280 and 246, so that's exactly what this card is rated for. Definitely high quality UHS 2 port. Let's throw something a little heavier at it. I've got an external drive that is a 2 terabyte NVMe. We're getting about 700 megabytes per second on the USB 3.1. That's pretty good. Next, we're gonna test out the headset. So give me 1 second, let me get a set of headphones. Okay, I've got a set of Bose QC25s. Back from the olden days of wired headphones. This is why we don't like wired headphones. Okay, so they're working. I did have to select the dock as my sound out, but I'm hearing, and it might be these headphones, almost like a weird distortion. I'll be right back. I guess these are ear pods, not AirPods. Okay. All right, we're plugged in. Let's try that again. Okay, it's definitely there. It's just a slight, and here's what I can tell you. Here's what it sounds like. Here's what it is. It's interference, the module that manages the audio sound. I will ask them about, I'm gonna leave that in the review, but I'm gonna tell you right now, the sound out of that is not great. Let's try microphone in and see if it does the same thing. Test 1, 2, testing the ear pods on the Ivanky FusionDock Pro 1 Plus. I'm gonna listen to them on my AirPods. Test 1, 2, testing the ear pods on the Ivanky FusionDock Pro 1 Plus. Okay, we got a good 20 seconds of sound. Let's listen to it. Okay, that actually sounded pretty good for the quality of the microphone. So I didn't hear any of that weird sound stuff. So it seems to only be happening on the output side, but that is definitely something to note. All right, so we've tested the SD card reader. We've tested the USB speed. Let's test charging really quick. Yeah, and my other dock that I'm normally attached to is an 85 watt charge. So we're getting 100 watts. That's good. That leaves what I think is the last test, because I'm not going to be able to test the 2.5 gigabit port. I don't have a 2.5 gigabit switch or router in my house yet. Ubiquiti, because my Ubiquiti Dream Machine router, I need to upgrade the SFP port, I think, to add a 2.5. Let's test out these HDMI ports. Okay, this is a second 4K 60 display. We'll see if we can run them both at the same time. So we've got the LG, I've got my Philips display here. Okay, we figured it out. Okay, here's the thing. You should read the manual. Read the manual. In order to run the additional ports, these 2 additional driver ports, there's a piece of software that you need. It's called DisplayLink Manager. And what it does is it basically acts as the software driver to create those USB-C powered external monitors. And they work perfectly well at 4K 60. I ran them both for productivity, web browsing, some content creation. It should be fine. Like that would be actually is great. I ran video editing, like I pulled up Final Cut. So running Final Cut on this, on these additional screens, when you are playing back a timeline, the difference between playing it back on a hardware driven monitor source, right? One of the ones that's either coming directly out of the Mac, port 1, which is the hardware port, compared to the other 2 running with the DisplayLink Manager, it's somewhere between a 2 and 6% difference in terms of CPU utilization. And I have an M1 Max processor in my MacBook Pro, but I would say that just expect between 1 and say 6% to drive that additional screen. But it worked, it looks beautiful, it attached perfectly well, and so now I have 3 screen options as well as my main screen. That's great for someone who needs a lot of additional screen real estate for managing assets, spreadsheets, productivity, web, whatever else you want to do. It's no different. I'm gonna unhook all this and put all this away, and then I'm gonna give you my final thoughts. Okay, so now that I have my desk back, just a few final thoughts on this guy. The only thing that I would say is a downside to this is if you plan on plugging in a 3.5 millimeter headphone, set of headphones into this, there is some noise interference, there's some crosstalk with this particular model. Maybe it's just the one that I have. The microphone side of it was great. I did test the other USB ports. They are all up to spec very fast. One thing to note, just a disclaimer, is that because this is a USB 3 device and not Thunderbolt, the maximum transfer, the maximum amount of bandwidth that this device is going to be able to get out of your computer is going to be that 10 gigabits total. The other thing that I will note is that while using it for quite some time and having it plugged in for a couple of hours on the desk and doing speed tests and running monitors and doing all that sort of stuff, it got warm, but it was not like hot to the touch. It was definitely warm, like electronics get, but it didn't. I could still pick it up and move it, and it wasn't too hot. But other than that audio issue, to be quite honest, the fact that this guy is coming with all 14 ports, it's got the 2.5 gigabit Ethernet jack, which if you have the infrastructure to take advantage of that, that is going to be huge. And that the SD and mini SD cards are UHS 2 compatible. And it's even got the Kensington lock on the other side. Plastic, right? But kind of feels metal. Looks metal, feels plastic, but still well constructed. Now, last thing, normally on price, you can pick this up on Amazon. I've got a link down below. Normally it is $299. They are doing a special right now. It's $50 off. And then there's a $50 coupon that I just saw. So it's $199, which I think is actually a really good price. Link down below if this is something that you're interested in. Again, save 50 to $100 on it by using that link. That is an Amazon affiliate link, so I do make a couple bucks if you purchase it. But again, they did not pay me for this review. Anyway, let me know down in the comments what you think. If you have any questions, be happy to answer them for you. And obviously, follow me on all the social media stuff down below. Subscribe, like if this is the content that you're into, and I will see you in the next one. Thanks.